Alright, so I have 3 pet African dwarf frogs, and I wanted to show off my tank and how I have it set up and what I do with them. And I figured a good time to show you would be during cleaning time. So twice a week, I completely clean out their tank, make everything fresh for them, give them fresh water, fresh food, because we do not have a filter for their tank, so I try to keep it as clean as possible. So this is it, pretty clean, and I do it in the bathroom, on my bathroom sink. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to fill up a glass of water and transfer the frogs to there. Alright, so the 3 girls are in here. I do not fill it up all the way because they will try to climb up the edge of the glass and get out, so I don't fill it up too far to where they can do that. So now what I have to do is I have to clean this out because I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little murky. And you will really tell when you need to clean it because it will kind of start smelling like rotten eggs, and that's not a delightful thing to have in your home. So I will clean this out. So I like to do it with pretty hot water to try to kill as much bacteria as I can. So I'll take out all of their fake foliage first. It is good to have foliage in with your African dwarf frogs because they really, really like hiding. They really like swimming in between these, and they really like having hiding spots. Fake plants are fine as long as the edges aren't sharp because they have extremely delicate skin and sharp edges can't hurt them. You can also have live plants in there as long as they don't give off anything, toxic, and as long as they are, of course, aquatic plants. So you can really kind of see how murky and gross it is now. All their food particles and stuff. So I'm just going to wash these out real quick. Alright, and the next thing is to take all of their other little decorative things out of here. All their seashells and that kind of stuff. So, this is a seashell that I actually use as a food dish because African dwarf frogs are not incredibly good scavengers. They don't like to eat floating food, from my experience. They like stuff that sinks, and they have a hard time finding it, especially with the scenario I have going on here because I have gravel at the bottom. So it's really hard for them to find their food amongst it. So I strategically drop it into this light pink seashell so that they can find it because they do use the vision, but they mainly find by smell, and they are very good with learning by memory. So if I put it in the same place every time, they have learned over time that that's where their food goes, and they know when it's feeding time and they know to go there. So I'm going to wash these out as well because they are starting to feel slimy. When they start to feel slimy, I do just use some non-scented antibacterial soap on them. So I'm going to get that done. Alright, so I got those washed. Now what I do is I dump out all this water and I run really hot water through it, usually 4 or 5 times, fill it up about halfway, move the gravel around, and dump it again. I do that about 4 or 5 times to make sure that I get all of the food particles and waste out, and to make sure that all of the gravel is sanitized and that the water is going to be clean, that they're going to be living in for the next half of a week. So I'm going to get that done. Alright, so the water is completely clear now. All the debris is gone. I added in some of this, which is tap water conditioner. You want to add 1 drop per gallon. It just takes out all the chlorine and other harsh chemicals and vitamins that aquatic animals do not need. So now what I'm going to do is put all of their things back in there, and then I'll transfer them back in there. Every time that I do their tank, I like to rearrange things a little bit, but one thing will always stay in the same place, and that is their food bowl, which goes right there at the point. That way they can remember that that's where that is. So I'm going to shove everything back in here and then show you the finished result. So here's a nice side view of it once I got done. So you can kind of see, I put all of the foliage in the one corner so that they have a nice thick foresty bit to swim through. And then I gave them a lot of open space to swim through as well. There's a little no fishing sign, which I think is quite cute. And their food bowl, and they've got plenty of space to hide in there. So you see I've got them all in here now. There's one, the other one's down there, and the third one is already swum into the corner. So all I have to do now is take this and put it back in my room where it goes, put them some food in there, and I'll show you how that's set up in there. So this is pretty much the final setup. I have them in this little corner on my desk. I hooked their bubbler up. They do have a bubbler in there to get oxygen down to the bottom. These are funny little guys. Sometimes I'll even see them go sit on there. So now I'm just going to feed them. So what I feed them is HBH frog and tadpole bites, which are just these little pellets. They're these little pellets that just float to the bottom, and I just get a pinch. Oh, if I can get my fat fingers out. And I try to drop it strategically to where it'll fall in their food bowl, which it all did. Alright, so that was that.